Alright, and we're live. Sitting on my notebook. Hello everyone and welcome to another XY Chronicles. My name is Vic, and I'm walking you through the life of... No, that's lame as hell. Welcome back. Today I've decided to talk about the myths and misconceptions of testosterone or FTM, transgender people, trans men. I looked up and did some research on a lot of myths because, you know, over the past years I've been afraid of taking testosterone and taking the steps to get testosterone because I was afraid of some of the side effects, some of the things that would be permanent. Just in case something happened where I couldn't afford it and so I had to stop taking it. Multiple reasons, and I think a lot of it was just me trying to justify not being on testosterone for so long. So I've been doing research for a long time, and there's been a lot of rumors or myths about taking tea that have been circulating for a while. And I thought I would address some of these because a lot of the people that are friends with me or are supporting me don't know a lot about trans men. And that's not to say that, you can't do your own research, but I think it's important that I educate the people who are supporting me in my support system so they can be more educated in what it's like to be transgender and etc. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and actually have a notebook, and I wrote down things so I wouldn't get sidetracked. It's awesome. It's a good tactic. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into this. Number one, think this is the biggest myth / misconception about taking tea. Taking tea will cause anger issues. Raised anger level, shortness of temper, all of that fun stuff. And I think it's a common misconception because people who take steroids get very angry or short-tempered. Steroids aren't necessarily testosterone. Steroids are usually illegal. They are a lot of stuff packed into one big gigantic horse pill that you take and it goes straight to your liver. Testosterone is a little bit different, especially for trans men who are taking it. Every trans man experiences a different range of emotions. Some are more calm, some experience anger. I think this kind of goes hand in hand in what I talked about yesterday. The whole, we all experience emotions different ways. There's different ways to experience certain things, and one just doesn't make one gay or lesbian. Just like here, it's like I may take testosterone and feel more happy or feel more calm because I'm feeling more masculine, or I'm taking tea and my body is starting to look more masculine and I can look in the mirror and see what I want to see. You know what I mean? So I think for me it's going to make me happier. It's going to make me more docile maybe, and more just, like chill. I won't be as anxiety ridden with fear. I won't be so anxious about, passing or whatever. I think that once I start growing some facial hair, my voice gets deeper, I think then I will look more like a male. I think now I look like a 12-year-old boy who hasn't hit puberty yet, and it's really frustrating. Somebody else might experience a lot of rage, a lot of anger. I don't know why that would be. I mean, you're on testosterone, you should be happy. Tea therapy in trans men is meant to bring a healthy level of testosterone to the body. It helps maintain masculine secondary sex characteristics such as a lower voice, masculine fat and muscle redistribution, body hair growth, etc. Taking testosterone is not to beef us up and make us really strong. it's supposed to help our voices be deeper, facial hair grow in, leg hair, arm hair, more accurately armpit hair. And of course, I can take steps to achieve some of that now. I've stopped shaving my legs, I've stopped shaving under my arms. My voice is already, this is my natural voice, I'm not changing it, I'm not straining it, I'm not, etc. This is my actual voice. I haven't done anything to make it deeper, but there are exercises. You can hum, you can, it's a breathing pattern. You can take in a whole lot of air into your gut and hold it and push out, give yourself more bass in your voice. You know, right now, I'm obviously talking deeper than my typical voice. You know, I could talk like this all the time, but after a while, it strains your vocal cords. Or I could just talk in my normal voice. You see what I mean? So, the whole fat and muscle redistribution, can't really do much with that. I mean, I can work out and lose weight or build my muscle tone, but that's still, you know, I was talking to Kara earlier about this. She said I have kind of an hourglass figure. I have hips. They don't lie. They tell the truth. They do the thing. I have thighs that are bigger for a male. My body is shaped like a woman. If I didn't wear a binder, if I didn't pack, if I wore tight-fitting clothing, you could see the way my body is shaped. When I start taking tea, I'm going to fill in on my sides more, so I'm not so much this as I am this. My fat is going to redistribute. I can't think of another way to say it. My face is going to be more chiseled, square jawline. It's not going to be so sleek like it is now. My shoulders are going to broaden, believe it or not. I already have little football player shoulders. They look like I'm wearing shoulder pads, but they're going to, like, broaden. There's a lot of things that are going to change, and, you know, testosterone is supposed to help that process, the outward appearance. And there's other things that change, obviously, but I could go on about the physical. Hormone levels in the body are complex and balanced a certain way. So when I start tea, or when anyone starts tea, it's a dramatic, sudden change. So mood swings are to be expected. Your body, pre-tea, is used to a certain level of estrogen. Yes, there is testosterone present, but there's more estrogen. And if you really want to get in the scientific level of things, there's the estrogen, and, sorry, my voice is going, and I just said I wasn't straining it, and I'm not. It's just, when I talk a lot, it does this. Oh, that's really annoying. Anyway, as I was saying, the estrogen in your body it's there, and it's being produced constantly. My ovaries are in functioning order. I've not had a hysterectomy, and I forget the other word for it, but I haven't had one of those, so all my female parts are still there and they're functioning. Taking tea will stop my menstrual cycle. It will stop the function of my ovaries, not completely, but enough. And, you know, the testosterone will start to take over. But when that happens, your body is so used to all this estrogen, not all the testosterone, so when you start taking it, of course you're going to have mood swings. You're going to feel certain ways, certain days. But I think ultimately I'm going to be more confident, more happy, more satisfied on tea. I think I'm going to feel better when I get on testosterone. So yeah. Sometimes the emotional change has nothing to do with the tea, but everything to do with what's going on in the trans man's life. And that is, I can't stress that enough. You know, a lot of people want to pinpoint it, especially once you get on tea, they're going to be like, oh, it's just the testosterone, you're acting up, it's probably the testosterone, or you're feeling this way, it's probably the testosterone. It's like, no, you know what, I'm transitioning right now, people aren't being as supportive as I thought they would be, or, you know, somebody's making fun of me, or people are talking shit, basically, and I'm really stressed out, and I don't feel that I'm Like, I want this process to hurry up. I want to have a beard. I want to have this, that, and the other. And it's not going to be like that. And I already know. I'm not even taking tea yet. I already know it's going to be a process. I have to be patient. And I think, going through the early years of transitioning is some of the hardest years of your life, because you're trying so hard you've waited so long, and now you're trying to get the ball rolling, and it's just, everything comes crashing down at once. And, sometimes it's just not the tea, it's just what you're going through. Not every emotion or action has to do with testosterone. Adapting to the changes in transition is a trying time. The only... Tea is only one factor in transition. Changes in our hormones may affect us differently. Tea doesn't change you into the Hulk, basically. Tea doesn't make you this angry, festering, rage-filled person. It's one thing that helps the transition. It's not the only thing. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Basically, just because I take another hormone is not going to make me freak out. And that's a common myth. It's a common misconception that, they turn into the Hulk and they're like, everything, and like lifting cars and everything, and like throwing stuff at people, like, I will murder you and your family. It's nothing like that. Nothing. Myth number 2, taking tea will make you taller. I wish. Unless you begin tea before puberty, it will not make you taller. Long bone growth stops at the end of your first puberty. Now, this disappointed me when I found out that this wasn't true, because, let's face it, I'm 5'3", I'm a short man in a tall world, and I don't like that. But I've learned to become more comfortable with my height as I've grown older, but it would be nice to be a little bit taller, just because, I don't know, I just think that having some height on me would make people take me more seriously. And your first puberty, teenage years, your long bones grow. Your femur, your other bones. I used to know all the bones in the body, but I haven't been in school for a while. But your femur especially is one of your longer bones, and as a teenager it grows and you get taller. But once you're done with puberty, that's it. It's done growing. So I will probably be this height for the rest of my life. I stopped growing when I was in 8th grade, I think. I stopped growing taller, and it really frustrated me. Most trans guys start tea long after growth plates of their long bones have fused. That's something that happens. I don't really understand. But a lot of people say, well, I started tea and now I'm taller. And maybe they are taller. The reason for that, though, is posture. A lot of people pre-tea don't stand tall because they're not proud of themselves, or they're insecure, or they're trying to hide their breasts. And if they slouch a little bit, sometimes it makes it appear that your shirt's just bunched up or something, and they're not confident. I know I'm not. I probably slouch really badly, and maybe that's because, I'm slouching right now. Like, if I sit up straight, I gain some inches, but I'm slouching. So, I think it's all got to do with the posture and the positivity radiating through your body. So once I start tea, maybe I will be a little taller, because I'm like, hey, I'm definitely more confident now. It's all about confidence. Alright, the third myth or misconception, taking tea will make your breasts shrink away completely. Obviously, this is not true. Especially with people who have more of the fatty tissue around their breasts, or who are D's and up, C's and up. If you're born with A's, God bless you if you're a trans man. If you're born with A's, you're probably just sailing smooth. Redistribution of body fat from a female-like look to a male-like look happens on tea. obviously. Tea might decrease some of the fatty tissue around the breasts, but not all of it. So, before you start tea, you may be like, oh yeah, if I take tea, I won't have boobs anymore and I'll be flat-chested. Not gonna happen, buddy. Sorry. But I will say that a lot of it diminishes because it's redistributed. So, redistributed. I don't know why I said it redistributed. That was weird. But yeah, a lot of it's now it doesn't even sound like a real word. A lot of it is moved around, basically. And so a lot of it will disappear, but not all of it. It won't go completely away. That brings me to the fourth myth. If you stop tea after top surgery, breasts will grow back. This is also not true. Once tissue has been surgically removed, it is gone. It can't grow back. It's been surgically removed. It's out of your body. They suck all the fat out and they've removed it. So if you stop tea, you might gain a little weight there, but it won't all come back full force. Fat cells can grow according to food intake, metabolism shifts, or hormone levels. They can just grow. If a trans man still has ovaries and stops taking tea, there may be a shift, but it won't be major. Your ovaries obviously are going to still, once you stop tea, if you still have working ovaries, they're going to start pumping out estrogen again to get your body back to where it's supposed to be. I say that with quotes because obviously it's not supposed to be there if you're a male. But, you know what I mean. If you have to stop taking tea because of medical reasons, or if you stop taking tea because of financial reasons, or you stop taking it because it doesn't make you feel right, it's not what you thought it would be. Don't worry. Same thing with a beard. If you have a patchy beard and you stop taking tea, you will have that patchy beard forever. I mean, yeah, you can shave it off, but it'll grow back. So you'd have to get hair removal. There are certain things that are permanent that don't go back. Your voice, if your voice has deepened and you stop taking tea, it'll stay that deep. If you stop taking tea, I can't remember the other one. There's some other one. A lot of them are permanent. The fifth myth is taking tea will make you gay. This is obviously a myth because sexuality and gender have nothing to do with the other. A portion of trans men do experience a change in their sexual feelings post-transition. Maybe pre-tea, they were afraid of liking men, or they didn't want to admit that they liked men. Maybe they just weren't comfortable in dating or being sexually into anybody because they weren't comfortable in their body. And then post-transition, they're like, well, hey, now I'm confident. I know who I am. I know how I identify. And now I'm going to go get them. And they go get them. And that's fine. Sexuality has nothing to do with your gender. It doesn't. At all. They're two separate things. Which brings me to the sixth myth. The bigger the dose, the faster the transition. No, no, no. Dramatically increasing the dose might actually slow changes down. Excess T can actually be converted to estrogen by an enzyme called aromatase. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's what it looks like. Aromatase, something. But it's an enzyme. Basically, your body is like, whoa, whoa. All of a sudden, I have 5,000 milligrams of tea. That sounds like a lot. Probably is way too much. I'd probably kill you. But you know what I mean. I have this amount of tea, and So this enzyme's like, you know what? Let's just make it into estrogen. Try and transition. Nope. But this is why you don't buy tea offline from Mexico, from other countries. Sorry if you live in Mexico. From America, you don't buy it from, don't buy it from another country, basically, is what I'm saying. Don't buy it online. Don't buy it from a shady guy in an alley. Don't buy it from, your teacher, your neighbor. Don't buy it from people who are not certified doctors. You want to buy it from, you want to get it prescribed to you from an an actual doctor who knows what he or she is doing. They will know the dosage to give you. They will know what you need. They will help you. Don't do it underneath anybody. This is your life. You want to transition. I understand it's expensive. I understand it costs an arm and a leg, but if you want to do this, do it the right way. Don't do it some cheap, fast, easy way, and then, you become more feminine, and you're like, what happened? Well, your body was like, you know what? No, this is estrogen. No. Patience is key. Be patient. Once you start taking tea, the first time you start taking tea, the very first dosage, you take tea, and if you go home and you look in the mirror and you're like, where's my beard? You're taking tea for the wrong reasons. Well, probably, no. If you say, where's my beard? Not there yet? Like, chill, homie. It'll take a while sometimes it may take years to grow a beard. Just ask your guy friends. They don't grow a beard overnight. Some guys are blessed with that 5 o'clock shadow. They wake up the next morning and they've got, like, a forest. But some guys, they just have to, like, push it out. I don't know how beards work yet. I'm not growing one yet. But patience is key. Don't expect change overnight. Number 7, the 7th myth, tea makes you fat. No. If you're not overweight to begin with, if you eat healthy, if you exercise, you won't gain by being on tea. You may gain some weight because your body is doing all that redistribution stuff, but work out, eat well, whatever, and your body it won't be like, I don't know. This one is a weird myth because a lot of people now are about body positivity. There's nothing wrong with being fat. Fat is not a bad thing. I think once you are unhealthily fat or unhealthily overweight, that is when it's a problem. When your doctor's like, you need to take care of yourself because your cholesterol or this diabetes or that or the other, you need to do something about it. Other than that, weigh what you want, be what you want, do what you want. So I think tea making you fat, who cares? I think you just take care of your body the way you want to take care of it and keep it in the shape you want to keep it in. And here's some myths on trans males and transitions and FTM, whatever you want to call it. FTMs are just lesbians who couldn't cope with their homosexual feelings. Fuck you. That's literally all I have to say about that one. People who think that trans men are just lesbians who are like, oh man, I like a girl, I like women, but I'm a woman as well, so maybe if I'm a guy, that'll be more acceptable. So I'm going to go through a transition, become a male, and say I'm straight, and then it won't be a problem. No. Are you kidding me? No. Trans men are not always lesbian first. That's part of discovering your sexuality. Once again, like I've stressed, gender and sexuality are two separate things. Just because you're female, you're born into a female body, you're assigned a female at birth, does not in any way mean that you're a lesbian first and then become transgender. That doesn't even connect. Yes, it's happened. I think for me, I've been a male all my life. I was going through a period where I was trying to figure out what I identified as. I wasn't sure how I identified, if it was my gender or my sexuality. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know about how gender and sexuality are two different things. I didn't know. I thought they coincided with each other. I thought, well, I'm a female, and I like females, so I'm lesbian, so yeah, And all the lesbians I knew back in the day were mainly masculine. They're not transgender. They're lesbian. You know? They're comfortable in their bodies. I wasn't. There's a difference right there. So I wasn't a lesbian. I've always been a trans man. That's the thing. That people... There's lesbians who are women, who are comfortable being women, like women. There are men, maybe not cis men, born in the wrong body men, assigned the wrong gender at birth men, but men who like women. It's not that hard to wrap your head around at all. Another myth is all trans men came from the lesbian community or originally lived as lesbians. Once again, no. A lot of these trans men may have lived as straight women forever, and then realized that they were not women. You don't always... There are a lot of trans men who identified as lesbian, but that's part of discovering yourself. That's like I just said. There are a lot of them. I know a lot of them, personally. And just because that was a phase in their life doesn't mean that's them. Now, I hate saying phase. That's lack of a better word. Because, you know, all the straight people who are like, it's just a phase. It'll pass. It's just a phase. It's a phase. It's not a phase. It's my life. Okay? I was born this way, but I'm still trying to figure out how I was born, but it's not a phase. You know, so that's my thing. Like, you're discovering yourself, you're trying to figure out what you identify as, you don't know. There's the umbrella term queer now. I know back in the day, queer was like, ugh, don't say that, it's offensive. But now it's an umbrella term. The other one, I don't quite know. I don't like the term. You guys know what I'm talking about, it's the F word. And it's not fuck. Or fart. You know what it is. Black and yellow. Okay. Okay, yeah. A lot of people think this because they think transgender means it's just another gay person. Just another gay person. The LGB... Yeah, the LGB... I'm not saying T because I'm talking from the perspective of T. The LGBT community embraces gender swapping. They embrace gender bending. They embrace the androgynous look. They're like, you know, on with the drag shows, on with being proud of yourself, on with this, on with that, on with parade, pride, all this stuff. But for a while, I know it's getting more, now it's getting more like, okay, yeah. But for a while, the LGBT community did not like associating with transgender community, because they were like, you know what, we're gay, we're lesbian, we're bisexual, and we're proud to be in our bodies. They don't like being in their bodies, they're not proud. And that's not the case now. Obviously, we've adopted TQA+, multiple letters. We're trying to represent everyone in the LGBTQA+ community. But there was a time where it was just LGB and nothing more. The T was not wanted. They used to not want to associate with transgendered people. And not wanting to associate with transgender people is disrespectful, because we all need to stick together in this. Just because it's the gender that's different doesn't mean that the sexuality, you know, they're two separate things, but we can still work together in fighting for equality. And that's my thing about, you know, they've adopted on gender fluid. A lot of, like, agender, transgender, it's all been adopted into lesbian, bi, gay, asexual, pansexual. There's so much more. I don't want to leave anyone out, but you get what I'm saying. The sexuality is over here. There's a line. The gender is over here. But we need to combine each other. Like, we need to come together. And we already have, as a community. We've adopted more people into the community, which is fantastic, because we all need to be working together for equality, not just, well, I want gay marriage because I'm gay. Well, yeah, I want to be able to piss in the men's bathroom because I'm a male. I want to be able to get mail on my license, even though I haven't had surgery yet. You know, there's a lot of things that we don't get, especially here in North Carolina. I don't get anything. Yet, gay marriage is legal. For a while. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I don't want it to be a gay wedding. I don't want to get gay married because I'm a straight male. Kara's queer. That's how she identifies, but I want to get married to her, and technically it would be a straight wedding because I'm straight. She identifies as female. I identify as male. That's your biblical marriage right there. But it's still considered a gay marriage because I'm female in, you know, the documents and all that stuff. I can't get M on my license yet because North Carolina says you have to have surgery first. You have to do this, do that, do the other, and then maybe we'll consider it, you know, you have to have a penis. That's nothing. Yeah, I have a penis. It's in the drawer over there. You know, like, I don't know, it's frustrating. Another myth or misconception, it's always easy to tell who is FTM. Are you kidding me? No. It's so ignorant of somebody to say, that, I bet you that right there is a transgender person. Fuck you. You may not even know. There may be transgender people all around you and you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. So don't ever say it's easy to spot a transgender person, especially, you know, claiming, oh, I bet that was a guy, or I bet that was a girl. Don't use the past tense was. Never was. Identified as. Never was. I used to identify as female, but I've never been female. Do you get my drift? It can be a little confusing, but I don't know. And I feel like I'm walking on glass right now because I'm trying not to say anything that offends anybody, so please, if I say anything that seems offensive, it's just because I'm talking, I'm not thinking before I speak, and it's hard to use the right terminology when there's so many terms. And obviously I respect how everyone identifies because I identify as male, and I'm, you know, on my way transitioning, but I haven't had surgery. You know, I'm pre-T. So if I say anything that offends anyone, I'm very sorry. I'm just trying to get out what I need to say. That brings me to my next myth and my final myth, or misconception. It's known with certainty that transsexuality is caused by transsexuality or transgender. I think this one's talking more about the sexuality than the gender, because transgender and transsexual are two totally different things. Do your research. But congenital defect or hereditary, a hormone imbalance in the womb, chemical exposure, atypical psychological development, physical or sexual abuse, overbearing mother, absent father, or other environmental factors, inability to cope with homosexual feelings. None of these are true. Some of them may be applicable, but none of them are true. If a transgender person tells you, I know exactly why I'm transgender, I know why I was born in the wrong body, I know why I was assigned at birth as, well, no, that's more explainable. I know why I was born in the wrong body. And you say, why is that? And they say, it was chemical exposure. No. Literally, we don't know. Nobody knows why or how. People just make these assumptions or misconceptions. They're like, well, you probably didn't have a father figure in your life, and that made you gay, or that made you lesbian, or that made you want to be male to step in to replace your father because he's a piece of shit. I get that all the time. And I'm like, literally no. Literally no. Yes, I had an abusive past. Yes, I did. I don't deny it. But no, in no way, shape, or form did that make me how or who or what I am today. Having a dick for a father didn't make me want to be male. I am male. And I do not respect the fact that he treated me and my mother like that. I don't respect it. He went on and on and on and on and on about how he wanted a son. So people are automatically like, your father wanted a son, so you decided to... No, I didn't decide anything. I want to just put my hand over your mouth before you say anything else ignorant and stupid like decided, chose to be. I didn't choose to be transgender. I didn't choose to be... Just like I didn't choose to be abused. Just like I didn't choose to be treated like shit growing up. Just because I didn't choose anything about me. The way I came out of my mom, I didn't choose to be a C-section baby, I just was. I didn't choose to have a vagina, I had one. I didn't choose to be assigned at birth female, I was. I didn't choose to be born with the innate sense in my head that I am male in the wrong body. I didn't choose that. Why would I choose that? Why would I choose that? I don't get it. If I could choose, I would be in the right damn body. If I could choose, I wouldn't have to walk down the street afraid that someone can tell that I'm binding or packing. They can tell that I don't have male anatomy. They can tell that I'm not confident enough to walk in a men's bathroom, pull out my dick and pee, and tuck it back in and walk back out the door. Wash my hands first. I didn't choose. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be able to be who I am, look in the mirror, and say, damn, son, you look great today. But I can't do that, can I? No. I have to go through this process of transitioning just to be who I am inside. I have to do this. Why would I choose to be different? Why would I choose to be mistreated? Why would I choose to be bullied? Why would I choose to be this? What made you decide you were straight? What made you decide you were cisgender? Huh? I'm sorry, what? You can't answer that without saying I was born in this body? You can't say that without saying I was born with this mindset? But you won't believe me. You won't believe me at all. Huh. That's funny. Let me pull this out. You want to pull out the Bible, too? You want to find somewhere in here where it says, I don't give a shit? You want to find that for me? Because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what the Bible has to say about being born in the wrong body, about being gay, about being lesbian, about it being wrong. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't freaking care. Don't point me to that. Don't do it. I've heard enough. I've heard enough. I've heard that I'm going to hell. I've heard that I'm a sinner. I've heard that I'm blasphemous. I've heard that I'm the devil himself reincarnated. I've heard that I will face the fiery wrath of God if I don't repent, if I don't go straight, if I don't do this, if I don't do that, if I don't do the third. What happened to those lessons I learned when I was a child? That God is love. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, God created you, and He loves you. then why, please tell me why God created me this way, this way, this way? Huh? Why was I born in the wrong body? Did God think that would be funny? These are the questions that I ask. These are the reasons that I question Christianity. These are the reasons that I don't understand how people could worship a God that plays with you like you're a toy. Yes, he put you through trials and tribulations. Yeah, I could quote the Bible. You want me to? I could talk about stories from the Bible. You want me to? Job. He was put through all these trials and tribulations. God literally looked Satan in the face and said, yeah, take Job. He's a good servant. He won't be cursing me. He won't do this, do that, and the other. Take his family. Kill his sons. Kill off his cattle. Burn his crops. Give him disease. Make all his friends suggest that he turn his back on me. What the fuck? Really? I don't care if that was to prove a point. I don't care. That was a man's life that you took and fucked up just so you could prove a point. Playing with fire, you're going to eventually get burned. Matches always burn down to the quick, and you better watch it. I didn't choose this life. I was born into this life, and I plan to fix it because I can't be in this body anymore. The myths of testosterone, bullshit. And I'm gonna prove it day by day. When I start T, you'll see. None of these myths are true. Especially the latter. Say something like that to me, ever, anyone, ever, they got another thing coming. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, I need to calm the fuck down. I'm not even taking tea yet. This is because this comes from my fucking heart. Bye, guys.